When do we talk about the fucking shows and movies? Thanks for the F shot.
I don't know, but his arms are feeling chewed up.
Show me what you got.
We'll drink it if you say. Hey guys, it's Wasted Opinions here with a blast from the past. We're talking about a whole decade of worth of the 80s. It's got to be the best decade, right?
Yeah. Best decade. Decade.
Did I say it wrong?
Decade.
Decade.
Yeah, okay. 80s is the best decade to have been born in.
I'm LewisLightning, and with me today I have...
MussKeg 86.
Okay.
I'm CountryBoy. I'm CountryBoy from 1986 as well.
No, CountryBoy_9.
Oh, okay, but I usually just say CountryBoy here.
Yeah, don't search 86 for that. You won't find him if you're MussKeg.
MussKeg 69.
Let's do a shot here before we get too off on
Cheers, skis.
interest.
Mm.
Okay. So yeah, it's our favorites. We're not going to go with critical stuff here. Just us, what we like the most, and honestly, it probably will match up because a good movie is a good movie. I think most people have a consensus on that.
Yeah.
Anyone want to start first? I'm kind of leaning this way.
All right, let's start. If you know me, you know I love my Back to the Future, so I'm gonna go Back to the Future. 2 is my favorite. I'll say Back to the Future. Back to the Future 1. If we're gonna go like, because it started the whole franchise, so you can't have Back to the Future 2 without Back to the Future 1, which is 1985, and that's when it starts to take place. It goes down to 1955, and then it comes back to 1985. So yeah, Back to the Future is definitely up there as one of my
Ronald Reagan loved it.
I go with number 1 just because I find that it's too much of a retread.
No.
But I love that because they're able to do that very one. But yeah,
I go 1 as well.
For sure.
We'll go weird order. We'll
Okay.
Left, right, back.
Sure.
I'm going to go with one of my favorite action fighting movies ever, Bloodsport. Jean-Claude Van Damme. I can watch that movie anytime it's on. If I see it, I'll watch it. It's such a good movie, such a good fighting, such fun. It's also, a lot of these movies on my list are going to be ones that, like, there's acclaimed ones out there, but there's ones that I just remember liking when I was a kid too.
Yeah.
And so, the Bloodsport for sure.
For my pick, I'm going to actually take this one only because it's a steal. At least I think it's a steal. I mean, the guy's wearing the shirt for the Goonies. So I'm going to pick the Goonies.
Let's say it's a steal just because it's on our list
thought I was
too.
going to say that.
I think he's going to say it.
Okay, but I'm saying we can still say it too, can't we?
I know, but he's wearing the shirt. I just feel like it's going to be on his list.
Okay.
So I'm going to say the Goonies. It's, to me, like, it's almost like a coming-of-age story. Yes, it's an adventure of these kids going through it, but it's like, to me... the main character, Charlie, was it Charlie? What's the main character's name?
I don't remember their characters' names.
Sam.
Okay, yeah, but...
Was it?
Sam.
No, Sam is who he plays in Samwise Gamgee. Get out of here.
I think Charlie's like...
Sean Astin's character.
But anyways, like, yeah, he ends up kissing a girl, and all...
Yeah.
He's got a cool pirate ship.
He gets rid of the asthma thing and all that, like, on his trip, and they all learn something about themselves as they go.
And cool Josh Brolin with his headband.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean... Chunk is national treasure now.
Yeah, he becomes friends with a sloth.
I do have one question though. At the end, they find the jewels and they're like, oh yeah, we can save the house or whatever. But the ship is sailing off. Like, isn't that full of treasure? Like,
it's a ghost ship.
Who got all that?
Yeah, hey, let's just go to that ship and get a whole bunch of that stuff that's
If
on there.
one marble bag was to save their house.
It's gone in time.
The Goonies, if you haven't seen it, please watch it. It's great.
Okay, so I could say the Goonies 2 then. That'll be, I don't need to,
Goonies
I guess,
2?
retread it.
They made a sequel?
Yeah. I guess I won't retread the Goonies because that was also on my list as well too. So the Goonies was the next one I probably would have said. But I'll go with another one that it's iconic, Ghostbusters. I think, strangely, I know it's not as loved, but I watched Ghostbusters 2 more growing up. I think only because we had the VHS of it. I don't think we had the first one. But the first one is the better of the two movies. It really is. It's got Slammer. It's got Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So you can't go wrong with it. And the comedy mixed with the bits of horror sort of in there too. It's just seamless. A lot of people say it's one of the perfect movies. maybe it is of its time too. It's also an '80s movie, but I still freaking love it. I grew up loving these movies.
I go a little bit more to the second one. It wouldn't be on my list. It's not. But I like the second one a bit more. But maybe because I grew up with it, right?
That's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, like I'm gonna go with number one just because.
Yeah.
I think it probably is the better one of the two. I know I sing two more, and
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go with my favorite Christmas movie of all time, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Great movie. I actually didn't watch it until I was older. So growing up, Home Alone, 1990 film, was always my favorite Christmas movie. But yeah, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Watch it multiple times every year around Christmas season. It still makes me laugh. It still makes me laugh all the time.
I don't know, Margot.
And it's goofy, right? Like there's, it's poorly made in some senses, like it. But yeah.
Going with more of our favorites, I'm gonna go with Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior. That's my favorite of the series. I think most people would say it's the best one. I mean, the newest one, if you consider.
I'll say Fury Road, but that one's definitely up there.
Yeah, I think the original three, you'd probably say.
For sure.
Yeah,
for the original three.
And it's basically the inspiration for Fury Road because it's it's a movie on a convoy that you're following under siege.
Yeah.
Great film.
It's got the helicopter guy.
The gyrocopter guy.
Sorry.
But yeah, I just love, all of it. Even the stuff that is in the encampment is great. Like when the guy gets his fingers cut off.
Boomerang. Yeah. The kid's got that boomerang.
I always feel bad for that guy who's like got no legs and he gets pulled off and jammed into the wheels.
Yeah.
So bad. But yeah, great movie. I'm a big Mad Max fan as a result.
Yeah. That was honestly the first one. I don't even like, but the second one is awesome.
And did it kind of bring in like that apocalyptic?
Yeah. First one didn't have that apocalyptic.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
maybe back then it was probably a new thing.
Like I think stuff like Big Trouble in Little China or whatever it's called.
That's not apocalyptic though.
Maybe I'm thinking of Escape.
Oh, you think Escape from New York?
Or New York. It's kind of like that, but yeah.
Okay. One that I've no surprise that I've mentioned this on the show many times. One of my favorite movies of all time, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's an amazing movie, start to finish. Love the blend of live action with the cartoons and the fact that it's like in the 1950s, I believe it is. I think it's detective, but it's darker than you would think like a Disney movie to be. It's got like the comedy is. It's got a baby smoking cigars. It's got booze. A guy getting drunk. It's got sex appeal with freaking Jessica Rabbit. So you wouldn't think that this would be a Disney movie, which is I guess why it's under the Touchstone label. But same guy that directed Back to the Future, so no surprise why I love it so
Richard
much.
Zemeckis.
You can see some coochie in that.
Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah. Damn it, so close to being right.
In the VHS version, you can see.
Yeah, the original stuff you can see it. Pause it at the right moment.
I'm going to go with the best Dan Aykroyd movie and the best John Candy movie, The Great Outdoors. Probably one of my favorite family comedies. Grew up watching that one a ton. It's my mom's favorite movie. I laugh every time at that movie. My kids love that movie. The bear scene with the butt,
shoots it with the shotgun.
When that movie comes on, especially if we're at my mom's, my kids go and they find my old pirate gun from Disneyland, and they're hunting around for the
I love when they meet the guy that got hit by lightning. Like, oh, 666. How many times did you get hit by? 6 times. 66 times.
It's time to introduce Mr. Thick Dick to Mr. Urinal Cake. Jesus, Roman. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go with the. I don't know. I think it's probably. Well, it's hard to say. My favorite Indiana Jones movie is Temple of Doom, but Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade, I think, is the best one.
89.
89? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Is the best one for casual viewers. I like Temple of Doom because it's so weird stuff, but I think Last Crusade is the best one to watch.
We watched it this past summer.
I'm surprised that you would say that because I know you love Temple of Doom.
For me, if I'm going to sit down, I'm going to watch Temple of Doom.
So why wouldn't you say that?
Because Last Crusade, I think it's for a big audience. Well,
I thought your favorite.
You could see whatever.
Because mine is Last Crusade, 100%. I love Crusade, especially with Sean Connery, the father and son dynamic.
Yeah,
awesome, love it.
But I just feel like I have that personal bias. I just don't want to see more the first one was religious stuff. The third one's religious stuff. It's kind of repeating the same steps, and I like the second one because it's such a deviation.
But I feel like the religious thing brings it to be more realistic feeling. in a sense that's based on true or lore that's in our world.
I like stuff that I don't know. That's exactly why. Like,
then you must love the Crystal Skull.
No,
Yeah.
that's real world lore.
Just take Temple of Doom then if it's your favorite.
Oh my god, you just want to take The Last Crusade.
No, I don't need to now because you said it. But I'm just saying, I don't know why you would say something that's not your favorite though.
Because I think
it's not the general consensus favorite. It's your movies you like.
Yeah,
I'm still sticking with Last Crusade.
Okay. I thought we were doing our personal favorites. That's why.
No.
Okay. Well, someone else did a John Candy movie. I might as well do my favorite John Candy movie, which is with Steve Martin, Plane, Trains, and Automobiles. That one is very heartfelt.
Yeah.
And he's a character that he's annoying. If I met this character, yeah, I'd be annoyed by him. But in a movie, he's hilarious. John Candy just is this guy who's he's kind of down on his luck, but he's got these annoying habits all the time. And Steve Martin cannot get away from this guy. He's basically stuck with him.
Does he sell like shower curtain rings?
Yeah, he sells him his earrings too to get some money. But it's a sad kind of story near the end, but then it also is heartwarming as well.
Those aren't pillows.
I thought those two working together. Honestly, anybody with John Candy, it's gold. And Steve Martin does a fantastic job working with him, and it's comedy gold for me.
Nice. I'm gonna go with Footloose, one of my favorite dancing movies.
Wow, I like Footloose.
I like Footloose. It's a great '80s one, and this isn't in order. It's just I'm looking at the list.
Yeah, same here. I have no order whatsoever.
There was a period in like high school where I watched that movie probably every night for like 2 or 3 weeks straight, kind of thing. I don't know why. I can't tell you. I got into this rhythm, and it would basically be my background noise as I did homework and stuff like that. And still love the movie. Great soundtrack. I actually bought the soundtrack. It's a great soundtrack, and yeah, it's a big one for me.
Oh, awesome.
So I'm gonna go with I feel like other people would pick other stuff, but for me, RoboCop is one of the '80s movies you got to watch.
Yeah.
It's competes with Terminator. I think a lot of times people talk about it, they go against Terminator, but to me, the original Terminator is almost like a horror movie more.
Yeah, in a way, it's almost like a slasher. The way he's like just goes after.
So I like the more action stuff. So that's why I went with RoboCop.
It's also it's also a smarter movie in a sense compared to RoboCop. Well, compared to Terminator 2, because it's a commentary on society, right? So
yeah. I just like RoboCop just for more action. It's more visceral and stuff. Yeah. And like you said,
got some great gore in it.
Yeah, but like you said, it's got like that commentary of how like the everything's for sale in that movie. Like it's just corporate.
As a kid, I got so scared when Ed 209 was chasing him, and then he falls like down the stairs, and they makes the squealing pig sound, and Paul
Verhoeven.
Yeah,
he does that. He did Starship Troopers.
Okay.
He knows how to do gore. Like we did a gore episode, and we had a couple of his movies on it. And I'll agree. I think I don't know if you said this, but I like RoboCop more than Terminator 1.
Yeah, and if it was a couple more years, maybe I would pick Terminator 2
Terminator 2 definitely is, but Terminator 1...
did it go downhill though in 2 and 3?
Yeah, I was at 3 and
4.
Genesis.
Well, no, I'm talking about RoboCop.
Oh, RoboCop. Honestly, I don't remember the sequels. I don't.
They had the drug canes, and he's a big robot with a screen projector.
Yeah. I heard that 2 can be bearable, but the rest of them.
3 doesn't he like fly? He gets like a jetpack or something.
I'm gonna get them all at some point. But
I'm gonna go. I got these toys up here, so I might as well go my Gremlins pick here. Another 1985 movie similar to Back to the Future. I prefer the Gremlins 2, similar to like some of the other sequels, but it's in the 90s, so I can't pick it. So Gremlins, the first Gremlins is hilarious. And it's gory. It's darker than the sequel is. There's people die in that movie. People lose limbs, and it's a great movie. I love, like I said, practical effects is a thing that I wish more movies would come back to, and Gremlins does that in spades. They got puppetry, they got animatronics, they got like a melting stripe going on. It's really good practical effects and a dark Christmas story if you know about the Santa Claus story that happens in the movie. Then it's pretty dark for a movie that's more lighthearted with some gore to it. It's surprising.
I gotta say I've seen the second one multiple times, but the first one I've never seen at least to completion. So we were just talking about, I'm like, Wow, I do not remember all that gore and violence in the first one.
Well, I mean, it's not like super gore. Like you don't see like a whole bunch of like blood and stuff and everywhere, but it's just what they imply, I guess. Like even when like one time they throw a gremlin like into a blender and they blend him up, or like the one guy like does lose his fucking hand, and it's a great movie. I love the Gremlins. I grew up loving those movies.
I'm gonna go with a Masters of the Universe, the He-Man movie featuring Dolph Lundgren and Courtney Cox. Again, movie that I watched a shit ton as a kid. I loved He-Man, had the sword, everything like that. It had blaster guns, cool effects. But I know it's hokey and cheesy, but I still can watch that movie and enjoy it. So.
That's another one on my to watch list. I really want to see that movie.
Oh, you should. Yeah, I've got it. You can borrow it from me.
You have it? Yeah, I'll totally watch that.
You know, it kind of falls in with stuff that I feel like the actress feels out of place in, like Courtney Cox, and that feels like Howard the Duck. I can't think of her name.
Oh, Leah Thompson.
That they feel like they shouldn't be in there, but
yeah, but Leah Thompson was more popular than or famous than Courtney
for
Cox
movies at that time. Yeah.
I think all Courtney had done was that Dancing in the Dark.
Bruce music's video, Bruce Springsteen.
So this would be my fifth one. Do we want to just keep going? We got some time here.
If we can, for sure.
So I wanted to end it. I thought we'd maybe only do 5, but my fifth one was going to be The Princess Bride. It's my favorite. Of like, if I picked number one, it'd be The Princess Bride.
Number one movie of all time, or like 80s movies? Okay.
Because it's to me it's indefinable by genre. It's like an action movie. Mm-hmm. It's a love story. It's so many different genres it goes into. Very quotable. I think it goes to multiple age ranges and stuff like that. Like anyone can enjoy it, sit there and watch it.
Yeah.
Like I love that movie.
Honestly, that's one of my wife's like favorite movies too. It's that like Little Mermaid basically. They're like tied basically. And I wish I had discovered that movie when I was younger, because as an adult I watched it and it's great. It's a great movie. I think I would have had more of a love for it if I was younger when I first saw it too. It would be on my list probably.
Andre the Giant.
There's a bunch of movies like that where I remember watching parts of it as a kid. And I didn't really understand it. Like, I grew up having these faint memories of weird shit like the rats in the swamp.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is that? I just have this memory of giant rats in the swamp.
Yeah. And
then I watched the movie again, like, oh, this was this movie.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Princess Bride.
I'm going to go with a Jim Henson production. I'm going to go with some Labyrinth. Definitely creeped the hell out of me growing up. But my sister, she watched this movie weekly, basically. She watched it all the time. So it's a movie that grew on me. Initially probably had nightmares from this movie. Amanda. So she watched the shit out of this movie. It was on all the time. And so it's a movie that I started out terrorized by, but it grew on me and I grew to love it. And I love the practicality of it, of the animatronics, again, like the puppetry. And it's just, and David Bowie's singing, it's just nuts. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it is a fun movie, fun characters, and again, Jim Henson at one of his best.
I've never seen it, but I want to see it and Dark Crystal, because those are two Henson stuff that I've never seen, but people talk about, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with, keeping with the Dolph Lundgren theme, Rocky IV. I love Rocky IV. It's my favorite of the Rockies.
Yeah.
85. What a great year for movies. 85.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. But no, it's got, again, a great soundtrack to it. It's got some of my favorite. It's got the best Rocky, like training montage and everything like that. A little cheesy at the ending. A little cheesy, but the fight.
That one's one of the more cheesy ones of the Rockies.
Well, yeah, and they were really laying on the, Russia versus U.S.
It's the 80s.
But it has the fight at the end is my favorite of the fights in the Rocky movies. So yeah, I love that one.
I'm a Rocky 2 fan.
Rocky 2 is probably my number 2.
I can't remember if it was the 80s, but yeah, it's...
Yeah, because I think the first one came in 79.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't pick Rocky.
Okay. First one was 77.
Was it? Oh,
I feel like... Don't quote me.
What, is it Rocky 5 that's got the robot?
4.
Okay, then yeah, definitely
Paulie.
5 is the worst, easily.
Happy birthday, Paulie.
Yeah.
It's got the fight between Apollo dies.
Yeah, I know. It is. It's one of the better ones for sure. I like it more than one, easily.
So then I'll continue this going on with Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back.
How does this continuing on with?
Well, continue on where we're going. I thought
how's that tied into Rock?
We go by time, not by how many you got.
Fifth movie I thought was going to be the end, but we're going pretty fast.
I thought you were like tying it into Rocky somehow.
But yeah,
robots, I guess. Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back. I think most people would say that's the best of the original trilogy of Star Wars movies. Maybe the best of them all.
I always lean towards the original from the original trilogy myself.
Oh, you're more of the New Hope, eh?
New Hope.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, really.
Yeah.
I always thought it was the best of them. Like
most people say it is, so yeah.
Most people will say, it's between those two. I'd say most people would say.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Something about like the bad guys really feeling more threatening. Like the first one, we just meet this guy, some loser from the fucking Tatooine desert, comes in and kicks the Empire's ass. Whereas in the second one, you're like, the Empire's not a pushover. They came over, they fucked them up, they took over, like Hoth's gone and stuff.
Great twist.
Things are in turmoil.
Loses his hand. And the twist, right?
Oh, 100%. And so I'll go with my next one. Mine is actually Return of the Jedi.
Oh,
I actually prefer Return of the Jedi. Well, for me, if it wasn't for the whole Jabba's Palace thing, it probably wouldn't.
Yeah, but Jabba's Palace is great.
I love Jabba's Palace. I could do a whole movie just in Jabba's Palace.
So that's what takes you down?
No, that's what makes it better.
Okay, I thought you were saying if it wasn't for Jabba's Palace, it'd be better.
Then it might be Empire, yeah. But because of Jabba's Palace, I just love all the characters in there. The Rancor, Jabba himself. It's the first time you technically saw Jabba, or in the original versions, anyways. And then they go to the Sarlacc pit, and they have like 3 different versions of how to get Solo out of there. Like originally, they go in with the droids. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, we're gonna send in Leia as this bounty hunter. Have this detonator. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, I guess Luke's the backup. We're gonna have to bring him in here. Yeah. Bring him in. Send him into the Sarlacc or the Rancor pit. Fight.
Final solution.
Yeah, and then just even in the ending with Darth Vader being able to like redeem himself, become like a good version of himself. I love seeing that.
I love the whole Force fight sequence too with the Ewoks,
that's good too.
On Endor.
It is, and even like the speeder bikes. I love that too.
Yeah.
So that'd be my pick for Star Wars.
Okay.
That was my pick. I'll go with it.
Okay.
I was gonna say it anyways, but you beat me to the Star Wars thing.
Starting to get a little bit of this here anyways. But I'll go with Caddyshack. I love Caddyshack.
Oh.
Great comedy. Does it hold up as much? Maybe not, but I still laugh at it. Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, even just the one scene where they share the screen together, the only scene, it's a really good movie. Again, one that I saw later on in life.
Yeah.
So, and it always makes me want to golf.
I think it's a movie why I saw it later, and that's why I didn't like it.
Oh,
I was never a fan.
Always makes me want to golf.
Yeah.
So I'll pick one that's we haven't really talked about anything with animation, so I'm going to pick The Little Mermaid.
Damn it!
Okay. Okay, now I don't have to because you did.
Yeah, I just felt like that. I mean, I think that's what they say kicked off the Disney Renaissance of animated
the golden
movies.
age or the Renaissance. Yeah.
And like if you ask me like all my favorite movies, I'd be like, Emperor's New Groove, Hercules, Lion King, which
they come out in the 80s.
Male dominated movies.
Yeah.
But I do like The Little Mermaid. That's the one like female protagonist. I'm like, okay, I can get on board with this one. But most of the other ones, if it's like, I don't know, who else is there? I'm like, Mulan. I like.
Yeah.
But like other ones,
I love Tarzan. I love Hercules.
Not 80s.
Yeah.
I know.
Great. My favorite songs and stuff all come from that for Little Mermaid.
Nice.
No, that was on my list too. This might be my last one unless we.
I've got one last one.
Okay, who started it?
I don't remember who did start it. Was he?
I started with Bloodsport.
Did you? Okay, Bloodsport, and then we went this ways. Yeah. Okay. So, I'll do 2 more then. Okay. So I'll do Terminator then. We talked about it earlier. Terminator. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite in the franchise, but the fact that what they built onto it, I do like where they went from there. And the Arnie being this big bad guy who's you've never really seen a robotic man with came back in time. Like the fact that
a weird concept.
It was a crazy idea. Yeah. And it all came from a dream that James Cameron had of a robot, skeleton robot walking through fire is what he had a dream of it. He's like, I want to make a movie about that. And that's what it was. And it happens in the movie at one point too.
He's a trucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go. I can't get off the holiday movie thing here, so I'll throw in another one of my favorite Christmas movies, Christmas Story. Alfie and his Red Ryder BB gun. Another one that came out in the 80s that I love. And, you know, 80s had a lot of that. It's the Reagan era. It really happened with Back to the Future. There was a lot of, like, the 50s people, the boomers, that were looking for nostalgia kicks, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, going back to what Christmas was like in the 50s when I was that kid. So, yeah, that one.
Nice. Well done. Oh, and he just fell. Yeah, Morty. Morty.
So, do I
So
get
your
one?
last one. Yeah, you go and then me, and then I think that's it.
Hi. Well, I'm gonna go with something I really thought one of you guys would say. Die Hard.
That was literally the last thing I was gonna say. No lie.
Yeah.
That was literally what I was gonna say next.
I was
Another
leaving it.
Christmas
I was
movie.
leaving it, but yeah, when he said Christmas movie, I was so worried. I was like, oh, shit, dude.
Well, it's not a Christmas.
He doesn't. I know he's gonna say he doesn't agree it's Christmas.
I wouldn't say it either, but I mean, a lot of people do. But yeah, I mean, it's the fact it gets referenced so much as being like this genre-defining action movie. I think it's got to be on that list.
It is.
Rick and Morty did it. I mean, so many movies copied it, but it's just great. Like the shirt. I mean, I'm sure one of these years we're gonna get ho ho ho, or what's it say? Ho ho, now I have a gun.
I didn't know I have a gun. Yeah.
Yeah, like we'll probably be wearing that for like the next Christmas episode we do. Like it's just so great. Or like the fights with the chain when he wraps around that guy's neck and hangs him.
Oh yeah,
and all
exactly. You think he's dead, but then at the end of the game, or end of the movie, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna."
And it's got like all these.
And then Carl Winslow fucking boom, boom, blast him.
What do you got for us on the last one?
See, now I don't know because I had Die Hard as my teed up one. I gotta think about this. This is, when the hell did the Land Before Time come out? Was that the 80s or the 90s?
I don't know.
You better be confident if you're throwing it on the list.
Well, I can't right now. It wasn't on my list.
I could throw one for you.
88.
What can you throw for me?
88.
Okay, I'll say Land Before Time.
There you go.
Why not?
Perfect.
It wasn't gonna be on my list, but you guys whittled me down. You say a lot of my favorites. So Land Before Time. It was. I think I kind of had another movie that kind of gave me nightmares with Sharp Tooth, the T-Rex chasing after Littlefoot. No, what the hell is it?
Littlefoot.
Yeah,
is the
Littlefoot.
main
Yeah,
character.
Littlefoot, and it's Sarah and Ducky and Petrie and all of them. Yeah, it's a sad movie. You know, his mom dies early on. You know, defending him, kind of like Bambi was back in the day too. But this is like our version of Bambi when we were kids, I'd say. But yeah, it's dinosaurs.
Don Bluth.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, it's
Awesome.
a sad movie, but with the happy ending.
I feel worse for Sarah.
She was a dick.
The actress got killed by her dad.
Boy, that was a
I didn't
marathon.
know that, but
We got through it though.
yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't know how many that
So-
was, but yeah.
Yeah, however many movies that was our favorite 80s movies. Just our own favorites, personal stuff. Where can we find you at?
On Twitch, Twitter, PSN as MussKeg, now in the non-80s.
I'm the LewisLightning on Twitch. You can find me there playing something if I'm not working.
And I'm CountryBoy_9 on Twitch, Twitter, PSN, and YouTube, where you can see me open up these guys right here, these giant Ninja Turtles from the Mutant Mayhem movie. Hope you like it.
Ooh. That looks more like Donatello. It looks like Michelangelo's color. Looks
What?
more orange than red.
I think it looks red.
It's definitely
That's
red.
reddish.
Someone's colorblind. Okay. Yeah.
This is red.
All right, see you guys.